Back to moto number 3 this time. I'll leave you guys right here.
Yep.
So
moto number 3.
All right,
you're on.
We're back. We're back with Big 49 Radio. My friend Jason Pike, and we're talking about two-strokes. Kawasaki coming out with the new 250 two-stroke, which is kind of cool. And I feel there's going to be a resurgence, I guess. I would imagine other companies are going to do the same thing.
I noticed a little disturbance in the force when Jason said the 4-tracks, the two-stroke version. You went, because I know you've been a big 4-stroke.
I just never know what a 4-stroke. I never know. I know what that bike. 4 tracks. What the hell is that?
Well, I can show you.
I can show you, man.
It's pretty quick out of the hole.
I do a wheelie right by you, man.
Blow out that back dune out back right now.
So is it a 3-wheeler or a 4-wheeler?
It's the first two-stroke 4-wheeler that Honda came out with.
No wonder.
It's the quad.
It's a quad.
It's a
Okay,
quad.
I didn't know it was I didn't know we're talking
Come on,
I didn't know we were talking about couches,
yeah,
bro.
you don't put me on. You don't put me on a bike.
I know we're about
Might
couches.
be trouble on a 2-wheeler. After crashing his dad's Husqvarna, I felt really bad about that as a kid.
Really?
It was his pride and joy.
Yeah.
When we were kids, if we were out, we'd go out riding every weekend by our house, and Jeremy McGrath would show up every once in a while. All those guys would come up north or come up from up south. But his dad would just fix every bike. We'd go out and break it. His dad, Ryan, couldn't put a chain on.
Hell no.
But his dad would come fix our bikes and make sure we were out on the path again. And he would do that every weekend.
Yeah, because it was cool. Because when we grew up, we had probably 10, 12 friends that all rode.
Okay.
And all around the thing. And we grew up in Escondido, so we had the Dust Bowl, 71 acres, seven hills, power lines. So we had all these places, and we'd all meet up.
Okay.
And we'd all just ride together, and it was so cool, you know.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was, and everybody lived in different places, and everybody come, and we'd all ride together.
Okay.
And then we'd go to someone's house, and their mom would make us lunch, and then we'd go to someone else's house and
have dinner,
eat some more food, and then go to someone else's house, get gas, and
go by this house, get hit by salt rocks. Which we always knew that guy would fire us off.
Yeah, we go make piss them off or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and none of us would just go the other way. We'd go right at them, burn out on them.
It wasn't pretty. Stupid,
we were wild kids, man, wild.
Yeah,
but back then they didn't call the police.
No.
Back then nobody was offended. No. They weren't offended, and back then it wasn't. You're not supposed to do that. No, that's this guy's rules. Yeah. This was this guy's ways.
Yeah.
It was so much more freedom now. Nowadays, it's everybody they're so stuck on how they think it should be or how they were. Have been told how it should be, and nobody is really real anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're really not.
There was a level of social acceptance towards tomfoolery and just boys being boys and just being kids, and you looked forward to it. It was like, those guys are going to grow up to be great young men. Why? Because look at all the trouble they're causing.
They're getting it out of their system.
They're getting it out of their system, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kawasaki brings back the two-stroke, and what are your thoughts on this, Ryan?
I think it's great. I think it's awesome because it gives another. It's like having, only one set of clothes. Okay, only surfer clothes.
Yep.
Well, no, I want to be grunge or I want to be this. So again, everybody likes different things.
Yep.
And so to have a 4-stroke, cool. To have a 2-stroke, cool. To have Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, again, we need these things because there's not just one mindset. There's not just one type of person. So I think it's great, and then also could get people into the sport much easier because the price will be down. You're not going to charge $12,000 for a 2-stroke. No way. And that could be some of the, the thinking behind it is like, oh, hold on, what if we made, because you can't make a 4-stroke maybe that cheap. Because maybe the price is the price or whatever it is. But a 2-stroke you can make much cheaper.
Yes.
And so now you're going to get people to come into the sport more and buy more motorcycles. And you know what? It could be Kawasaki's maybe best seller once they come out because you're going to get so many desert guys, so many woods guys, so many guys that live on the farm, so many guys that just want to ride. Because now when you go fix a 2-stroke, you're fix a 2-stroke, you're talking maybe $250.
Nothing.
Not $2,500 just because you fouled a plug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to bring down the price for the people that just want to ride.
Yep.
I have rain kits in my ashtray. I mean, that was the best thing about a 2-stroke is I could go rebuild in Glamis with a canopy over in the wind in the bed of my truck. I'd rebuild my top end.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-strokes.
I'd do that all the time. I'd say once a year, out in Glamis or Akatia, I'm rebuilding it out there.
I was going to say, you could put a piston in your truck with a ring and a little hone, and you're like,
you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
I remember. I remember riding a two-stroke too. After I was racing a while, and I'd dump gas, because I didn't have, nobody had premix.
Yeah. Right,
because I'd bring a two-stroke, whatever. So I would put, just plain gas in my gas tank, and then get the oil and go. Well, that was good enough.
Guess it.
Because a two-stroke is a stock two-stroke is unbreakable, so to speak.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I think it's cool, man. And like I say, congrats to Kawasaki for taking that lead, and I feel other companies will do it. And I know Yamaha has their two-strokes and stuff like that, but for someone to come out and maybe remake it, I think it could bring a little resurgence into the sport, because a lot of guys don't care to go to the track. A lot of guys ride on the farms, ride on the hills, ride into this. So that could be something much better than having this high performance, F1 450
that
out
you can't
there.
Work on.
Yeah.
But also on the farm, in the woods, in the hills, and this. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Because all these things are based on racing. These are race bikes. The 450s are race bikes. What about play bikes? What about I just love the sport bikes?
So I saw some video that came out a couple weeks ago where some big supercross riders were actually out on a track riding two-strokes.
Yeah.
Just having some fun on a two-stroke.
And again, the noise, the sound, the smell, there's nothing like it.
Hayden Deegan, by the way, was one of them.
Yeah,
he's riding a 250 two-stroke.
Well, because his dad grew up in the two-stroke era, so he has one, and that, and yes, like kind of like I guess Lewis Hamilton driving Senna's car or something like that. I mean, not that far back, but they would probably be if they had to pick. Okay, you want to drive this new your Formula One car, or would you want to drive Michael Schumacher's Formula One car from 10 years ago? I guarantee they'll pick that one because. Yeah. It's something different. It's something new. It's something exciting. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought it was cool seeing Eli Tomac and seeing Hayden Deegan out on a track on two strokes, just ripping.
Yeah.
And just to me, it just brings back some of the nostalgia of the sport, and the sport needs that. It needs to understand that that's where the sport came from.
Yeah, but also like we talked before, it's just like it's cool to see these guys have fun.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like have some fun, like where the fans aren't just watching these guys be professional athletes and being just robots. They're like, oh, cool, man. They're actually having fun, and then you get actually their personality.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because once you're on that bike, your practice bike, well, you're in competitor mode. Warrior mode.
Exactly.
But now you have a bike that's just fun in this. Now the jokes are going to come out, the fun's going to come out, the competitiveness is going to go down a little bit, and you're just going to do what you do. Why you got into the sport is because it's fun as hell.
So
back in the day too, though, you weren't allowed to go to Glamis with your insurance riding. Supercross, you weren't allowed. You guys weren't allowed to go out to Glamis. It was rare.
Yeah, but we did.
Yeah, we did. We didn't
follow me.
We didn't follow me rules. 16, 18 times a year.
Okay.
Every desert season. So I would always invite them. Come on out.
You were a Glamis kid growing up.
Always, yeah. That Buttercup, Akatia as a kid. My mom would put me on a 90, fill it with gas. Couldn't touch the bars, but I'd ride it around camp until I ran out of gas.
I was gonna say, how old were you when you started going to Glamis?
Probably 3.
3.
Yeah, 4. I learned to drive when I was 8 out there.
So were you one of those Thanksgiving at Glamis families?
Yes, always.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd have all the trailers, potluck. Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Been to a couple of those in my day.
It's the best. Every holiday out there, we'd spend Christmas out there.
Yep.
And then when I was able to drive, it was like game on.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm leaving every chance I can.
Nice. And so does your family still do any sort of outings like that?
My mom doesn't, but growing up, she would take all 3 kids to the desert.
Okay.
She'd read her love novels, and all the kids just rode all day, all night.
So your daughter grew up in that kind of...
My daughter, no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have never taken her to the desert yet, except Akatia and her Jeep, and the new Jeep that I built.
Wow.
Which is shocking, but it's not like when we were kids out there.
Yeah, it's a different story now,
Yeah, you can't leave a kid unattended. You know what I mean?
Because again, the equipment's gotten so fast.
Oh yeah.
You have these side by sides and stuff like that
coming down.
Yeah.
That's going over the kiddie track.
Yeah.
And then again, it's I don't know, it's still a difference. Like when you went to the desert, when we were going to, everybody's at the desert.
Yeah.
To have fun. Now it's like everybody's going to the desert to show you how fast their car is, how great their car is. I don't know. It just, it's humanity has changed that way. It's like everybody's doing things to show everybody else how much better they are than everybody else. Instead of just going out there.
I was gonna say a lot of that. I think is social media.
Yeah, social media.
I think a lot of that social media and the pressures of social media. And basically trying to live this MTV life, whereas back in the day we just lived our own lives.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm going with this. Is so living your best life. Do you think you've lived your best life?
I think there's always things that you're gonna wish you would have done, or you could have done different. But I don't look back on regret-wise. I don't think about that at all because it doesn't get you anywhere. You know what I mean? You're not getting that back.
Yeah.
But it's always, one day at a time, every day.
Every day.
Yeah, and so like for me, my biggest thing is perspective, is like seeing things and having perspective on it. Then you can make a change and stuff like that. So, and like I say, I always bring this up, but just being told that you have just this much time in life. I mean, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would handle that, but like, is there a message? Is there something that you would like to tell people that you see where they're so lost in their lives or so lost in their ways because they're not even paying attention to that this could be their last day, their last time, short time, whatever it is, and just to really kind of really make a really make an impact on people, because I mean what you have is a very powerful story, and what you're going through is something nobody'd wish on anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be able to still smile and laugh and joke like we have been this whole time is pretty cool. And so that's why I wanted to bring you on this show, is one, for you just to be able to speak, but also, sometimes we go through these situations and these struggles in life to be able to help somebody else. Yeah. You know what I mean? So what's a message that you would tell people? And be raw, man, be real, and I don't give a shit.
To me that I notice is to enjoy life. Every aspect of it, whether it's a waitress coming to your table, you might have had a shitty day or a shitty scan, whatever. But to enjoy every aspect, and you never know what someone's going through. I get this every day. Every day someone says, "You look great. You don't look sick." You're right, I don't. I feel like death, but I do what I do to get up and keep moving.
Yep.
But I would say just to value everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
take everything in.
Yeah, I guess because that's the thing, is that life changes through your eyes when you have to see it different. Is like, this could be the last time I see a waitress, this and that, and just I guess the little things, the little things.
It's the little things.
The little things really start to sparkle, and the little things start to gain weight, and the big things of this house, this car, this money, this prestige, or whatever, just kind of fades away.
Yeah,
that's what I would see. Yeah.
And you don't. I want to make sure my kids and family's taken care of, obviously, financially, and they'll be good.
So that's a good lesson for those people that think that they haven't been given a 6-month sentence in life.
Oh, yeah.
They need to act as if they've got a 1-day sentence.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
Enjoy life every day. And that's something I'm just at fault as anyone. I never did.
Well, I think it's a human trait. I think it becomes a human issue where we tend to try to not think about, what's really important, which is the experience that we're going through. Yeah. We're the motocross race. If you're not thinking about that corner, if you're not thinking about that jump, if you're not thinking about what is on that track at that time, well, guess what? You're injured. You're done. You're done.
Yeah, and I think, it's kind of like it's something that we don't really realize, because, I did a little thing yesterday about, we don't, life isn't in your head.
Yeah.
But how do you go through life? Through your mind, I guess. And what is the mind? The mind is always next. That's all it is next. So when you're going through life that way, then you start seeing life that way as the next thing. Even just sitting here while he's talking, my mind went, okay, when I get home, I got to rake this trail. It's like the next thing. Well, hold on, whoa. So when we can learn that life is outside of us, It's really outside of us, and we can kind of look at it differently. And instead of being in our mind of what we think we need to have, what we've been told, what we've read, what we've listened to, and trying to make life go down those pathways, we're gonna miss the immediate. We're gonna miss the little things. We're gonna miss the little special moments.
Well,
because we're blinded to it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I always say to myself: is that gonna help me tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is that gonna give me tomorrow? No. Is that car going to give me tomorrow? No.
No.
Is this gratification going to give me tomorrow? No. So that's one thing, I guess, is to always be present.
Yep.
Period. Because you don't know when it's your time. And granted, my time could be gone tomorrow, and not by cancer.
And on that
It
note,
could be from this guy's driving on the way home. You know what I mean?
Well, what you trying to say?
The guy gave me a helmet when I got here.
Guess what you just did for Ryan? You finished Moto 3.
He finished my number 3 because I was getting tired, man.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Finished Moto 3.
Good. I knew he brought me around.
So next week, let's talk about Supercross next week. And
Yeah, we talk about Supercross, and again, let's talk about life. Let's talk about training. Let's talk about nutrition. Because again, if you're gonna have a big fan base and people listening, well, everybody has different, wants, different interests. And so if you have the ability to talk about so many different interests, well, then I want to be able to feed so many different people. Yep. I don't want just straight motocross people. I want people that are interested in life, interested in nutrition, interested in ideas or my perspective, or even what happened at the races and all that stuff. It's just like make it wide range, and so that's why I wanted to bring Jason on today. Is just change it up a little bit, and hopefully people that have watched or people that are going to watch that maybe it hit home in some places that they have somebody that's going through something. Maybe someone's going through something themselves.
Everyone's always going through something.
Yeah, but maybe someone's going through something like you that's just like, shit, that guy's right. That guy's right. And I don't know. I just things happen for a reason, and so I wanted to make sure I jumped on that reason.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we finished Moto 3.
Yeah, we're good, but we're doing Parade Lap, man.
All right.
We gotta wave to everybody.
Okay, gotta wave to everybody.
When you win, baby, when you win, you gotta wave to everybody. You're like that. Might be some women out there that want some titty, some booby signed and stuff. So I'm not discriminating.
All right. We'll see you next week, and hopefully you've signed a bunch of boobies.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.